All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Teacher Nivs. It's Dr. Joe's reading writing class. If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 47 in the chat? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let us wait. Can anyone else hear me? Derek, Russell, can you guys hear me? Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, I'm assuming Derek can hear me too. All right, let us get started. So, book of the day is How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents. Can I get Xiaoya? Can you read this one for us?
I've heard of this author before.
Ooh.
Okay, How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Axes by Julia Alvarez. Uprooted from the family house in the Dominican Republic, the four Garcia sisters, Carla, Sandra, Yolanda, and Sofia, arrived in New York City in 1960 to find a life far different from the genteel existence of maids, manicures, and extended family they left behind. What they have lost and what they find is revealed in the 15 interconnected stories that make up this exquisite novel from one of the premier novelists of our time.
Awesome. Okay, thank you for reading that, Xiaoya. So, yeah, I personally actually haven't read this book myself, but it's highly recommended, and I think that the theme of the story is similar to the one of last week. So it's pretty cool. Just like about people coming or being raised in a different environment than their parents and um, how that is difficult, but also cool and interesting and all of that. Um, and the struggles and challenges that come with that, right? Okay, can I get Russell? Can you read this one?
Julia Alvarez. Julia Alvarez left the Dominican Republic for the United States in 1960 at the age of 10. She is the author of 6 novels, 3 books of nonfiction, 3 collections of poetry, and 11 books for children and young adults. She has taught and mentored writers in schools and communities across America and until her retirement in 2016 was a writer in residence at Middlebury College. Her work has garnered wide recognition, including a Latina Leader Award in Literature from the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute, the Hispanic Heritage Award in Literature, the Woman of the Year by Latina Magazine, and inclusion in the New York Public Library's program The Hand of the Poet, original manuscripts by 100 masters from John Donne to Julia Alvarez. In the Time of the Butterflies, with over 1 million copies in print, was selected by the National Endowment for the Arts for its National Big Read program. And in 2013, President Obama awarded Alvarez the National Medal of Arts in recognition of her extraordinary storytelling.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for that, Russell. So, the word here, caucus, you probably hear that a lot. It just means sort of um, like it just means like a meeting or a group of people who have meetings, pretty much, right? So, sometimes you'll hear stuff like, oh, the Democratic Party caucus, right? Usually just like a meeting amongst party members, and it's usually just only party members or members of some sort of group, right? So in this case, Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute. So I guess it's just Institute for, oh, Hispanic Caucus. Okay. So this is the Hispanic Caucus would be um, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus would be people who are Hispanic in who are elected members of Congress or trying to become elected members of Congress, and it's an institute for them, I guess, um, uh, and to help support them, I guess, right? So yeah. Okay, let us continue. So I could not find a quote that I really liked that we can really talk about. Well, there were a couple quotes that I liked, but there weren't many quotes that we could really analyze or talk about. I found, so I just went completely different, on a completely different tangent to famous philosopher Bertrand Russell. Um, the quote is, "Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion accepted was once eccentric." I want you all to explain this quote. Why is it important? And you know what? Do you? Um, you could focus on why is it important or explain why you agree or disagree. You can focus on either or. Yeah, okay. 5 minutes. Starting the timer now. All right, all right, all right. Time is up. Let's see what you guys came up with. All right, Jaya, would you like to start us off?
This quote is telling us to share our ideas freely and to not worry if it is eccentric in a way. It also tells us that any idea or opinion isn't a strange or weird opinion, just like how there is no such thing as a stupid question. I agree with this quote because it informs people that it's okay to have different opinions on things and to share those ideas freely because any opinion now accepted was once eccentric.
Okay. Great stuff. Great stuff. This quote says charity is really not to worry if it is eccentric in a way. I would say something I would add to make this a bit better is to say anyway. In any way. Just because that implies just more of like even the little bit, most a little bit eccentric, or if it's super eccentric, anyway, it's fine. Rather than a way, right? Because that kind of implies the context or the connotation there would just mean in a tiny way. It also tells us that any idea or opinion is strange or isn't a strange or weird opinion. But there's no such thing as a stupid question. Read this quote because it informs people that it's okay to have different opinions on things and to share those ideas freely because great, great. I really like this last line there. Um, but yeah, generally speaking though, if you're going to quote the main quote in this, you would have to add more explanation. But this is a great conclusion regardless. Um, awesome. Okay. Um, sorry. Let's get to Russell. All right, Russell, would you like to read your quote?
Russell's quote about eccentric opinion usually refers to the idea that having unconventional views can be valuable, as in only when we think outside the box can we progress.
As in, only when we think else. As in, okay, so this is, I can be valuable. This sentence is great. This sentence is great. There just needs to be some more punctuation in between them. I feel like the ideas are a little bit separate. Unconventional views can be valuable, and then here is only when you think outside the box can we progress. So this is saying it's not just can be valuable, it is extremely valuable or it is necessary, right? So I think that there is a sort of a logical split here that you need to address somehow. Um, but besides that, two great ideas and points there. Um, awesome. And then the only other thing is I don't necessarily think is saying any idea isn't strange or weird, right? You because there are some awful, strange ideas out there, but it just
Ah,
says
Hitler.
exactly. There you go, Hitler. Strange, awful, terrible.
One single word. Hitler.
Yeah, yeah. You can end it any argument or with the word Hitler. Um, okay, let's look at the vocab of the day. Can I get Derek? Derek, can you read the vocab?
Um, uh, Aberrant adjective, deviating from the usual or natural type, abnormal. His aberrant behavior worried his friends, as he was normally so predictable. Fusty adjective, smelling stale, damp, or stuffy, also old-fashioned. The attic had a fusty scent from years of neglect. Dawdle, verb, to move or act too slowly to waste time. Stop dawdling and finish your homework. Lambent, adjective, softly glowing or flickering. The lambent glow of the lanterns illuminated the quiet street. Amble, verb, to walk slowly and casually. They ambled through the park, enjoying the warm sunshine.
Awesome. Thank you for reading that. Okay, let me put a timer on. 4 minutes. You guys know the drill. I'm going to throw the words in the chat. All right, all right, all right. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Russell, can you read yours?
Bob waddled and ambled aberrantly across the lambent hallway in his fusty pajamas.
You know what? That works. That works. Okay, bonus points. Next time, you've accomplished it. All words, one sentence. Next time, uh, go for the paragraph. But this is great. I feel like have you done it before? Gotten all the words in one sentence?
I think one time.
Nice, nice. I feel like I don't remember you getting it in one sentence. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Anybody else? No? What? What's going on
Wait,
here?
wait, mine is coming. I just need to finish the sentence.
Okay. Okay. On a side note, has anyone ever had banana milk?
Yes.
Oh,
Only
I had
once, and I
it.
was like 3, I
I'm
think.
I'm having it for the first time right now, and it is amazing. I love it.
Okay, I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Xiaoya. All right, can you read it?
After Brad quit playing the oboe, his day-to-day life has been aberrant ever since. This is why after 3 years he picked up his fussy-smelling oboe for the first time. After he started getting back in the schedule, he never dawdled or ambled around when he was supposed to be practicing, which really made him play the oboe well. Every time he practices the oboe, he feels a lambent glow of nostalgia around him.
Awesome. Awesome. Great stuff. Um, uh, 3 years. After he started getting back to schedule, he never dawdled. So I would say at this point, it's not just started getting back into after he started. I would say a recommendation would be to just say since he got back into the schedule, right? Because it's not just from when he started, it's like since he got back into the schedule, like it's a definitive thing. Um, um, right? Because this sort of implies like it's an ongoing thing. Um, this is more definitive, but it's grammatically correct. Also, busty, you could just say just fusty, right? Because um, it implies it's smelly. So you could just what did I do? It's control. Oh, there you go. Okay, let us continue. Let's go to non-essential clause practice. Let's do one more of these. Can I get the Derek? Can you do the first one? Does this need commas?
Dolphin Island, located off the coast of Alabama, is a favorite spot for fishermen. Common between island and located, and common between Alabama and is.
Nice. Perfect. Yeah. Dolphin Island is a name. You don't, this is giving the details about the location is not necessary. Is not necessary. Um,
Wait,
uh,
is Dolphin Island actually a real place?
Dolphin.
Yeah.
Let's Google it. Dolphin Island. Yep, it's a real place. outside of a town in Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Okay, Xiao, could you do the next one?
He saw his favorite movie, Star Wars, 8 times.
Do you need commas here?
Wait, let me think. Wait, I don't know. Wait, because it's like.
This one's tough.
Maybe. Because if I put commas between saw and his and movie and Star Wars and Star, it really doesn't really make any. Okay, I'll try that. Maybe comma between saw and his. And then comma between movie and Star.
He saw Star Wars 8 times.
Is it that or no? Or is it no comments? I don't know if it's with or if it's
Huh.
that or no comments.
To be honest, this one stumped me. Yeah, this is the way I went with first.
Okay.
Commas without
He
Star.
saw Star Wars 8 times is also kind of correct.
Yeah, he saw Star Wars. So, okay, the reason it wouldn't make sense to put the commas here is because the clause hasn't. He saw. Actually, sometimes they do that. He saw Star Wars 8 times. Okay, wait, no, sorry. The difference here is this is essential information. The fact that it's his favorite movie. Actually, is it? This one, okay, this one's tricky. I'm gonna review this one, see if I can explain if there is a way to definitively decide whether this should be the non-essential or this one without any other
Right.
context. Okay. Russell, can you do number 3?
Two of her friends, Kate and Beth, are planning to share an apartment with her next summer. Or plan. I think one before Kate and one before R.
Two of her friends, King Beth. Yep. Awesome. Okay. Derek, can you do this last one?
Citizen Kane one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Kane, considered by many critics to be the greatest American film ever made, won only one Academy Award. Comma between Kane and considered, and also one between made and won.
Oh, sorry. Awesome. And Jaya, was it who did the first one?
The officer who made the arrest had been investigated previously for excessive use of force.
Do you need commas?
I don't know. Like these all so hard.
It has to be hard.
I don't think there's any commas.
No commas. You're correct. No commas needed.
Because the officer, I think who made the arrest is pretty important because, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so in this case, Star Wars, we've already indicated that he watched his favorite movie 8 times. Star Wars isn't a positive, it's just to rename the main part of the sentence, and also it comes after. So in this case, because Star Wars literally comes after the fact that he stated he saw his favorite movie. This one would be the non-essential information. Awesome. Okay. Now I have a couple more. I have some more practice questions for you. Not too many. Okay. Quotations. How do we use them? Can I get Russell? Can you do the first one? Do we need quotations here? If so, add them.
One before is and one after question mark.
Yes. After or before?
After.
All right. Let's double check. Yep, you are correct. Okay, Derek, can you do number 2?
Flannery O'Connor probably got the title of one of her stories from the words of the old popular song, A good man is hard to find. Quotations behind A after find?
Before or after the period?
After.
Nice. Jaya, number 3.
When did Roosevelt say we have nothing to fear but fear itself? So, wait. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. So, comma before we, and then comma,
Comma?
no, comma, sorry, quotation marks, sorry. And then, comma, quotation marks after the question mark.
Nice. And let's get Russell.
Yesterday, John said one after comma, the second comma. And one after the semicolon.
After or before?
After.
Ooh, that one.
Wait, what?
The quotations go before the semicolons. Before semicolons and colons. It's just the rule. I could try and explain why the rules of English are the rules, but that's impossible because a lot of the rules don't make sense. Also, personally, I don't like. I wish quotation rules, especially, were more standardized. The UK system is a bit better, in my opinion, with commas, um, with punctuation outside the quotations, unless they're inside the actual quote, but in which case you could just cut it off normally. But yes, the American way is put it inside always, and then that will be the end of that would be the punctuation for the entire sentence. I'd rather personally even have 2 punctuation, like question mark, quotations, and then punctuation for the whole sentence. Because I feel like that's just a more straightforward system that you can teach. And people, it makes sense. But this way is a little bit tricky. Anyways, can I get after Russell, can we get Derek? Derek, can you do this one?
Can you believe Dot asked me that it has almost been 5 years since we've seen each other? Quotation mark before can and after believe and the comma, and before that, but after the comma and after the question mark.
Nice. Perfect. Shaya, can you do this one?
A perfect day for banana fish is, I believe, J.C. Salinger's best short story. What?
That sounds tricky.
Quotation marks before A and I don't know. After banana fish, I don't know.
All right, let's double check this one.
I don't know.
You are correct.
Oh,
Because it is, let's see if I can find the rule here. For nicknames to discuss words, signal titles of creative works. Tulips is by Sylvia Plath is a sad poem with a happy title, and so the title gets put in quotations in most writing styles. I guess the AP's writing style, and then Chicago style is only for shorter works like poems and articles and chapters. That's why sometimes you'll see like sometimes you'll see a title have like the Chicago style will put this in italics and get rid of the quotations. And then the AP style does quotations and no italics. So yeah, normally I would just say it doesn't matter what, like if you're teacher or professor or in the workplace, whatever, they don't specify what type of writing style you need to choose. Um, it's fine to pick whichever one, but you have to be consistent. You can't use quotations for titles and then switch it to italics halfway through your essay or piece of work, right? And who's next? Russell.
Certainly, Mr. Martin said. I shall explain the whole situation to him. I know that he will understand. One before C, one after comma. Certainly, Mr. Martin said. And then one after the second comma, and then one after the last period.
Perfect. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so those were the writing. I mean, we could do the idiom of the day. We do have a bit of time. All right, let's do the idiom. All right. Throw down the gauntlet. The meaning is to issue a challenge, especially in a bold or defiant way. So the young lawyer threw down the gauntlet, challenging the senior partner to debate the case in court. Write one sentence with the idiom above. So just one sentence. Awesome. So Jaya said it. Centers first. William and Harry. Oh, it's just one sentence already. William and Harry decided to throw down the gauntlet to see who could chug water faster. Awesome. It's very. It's very. It's an idiom that is not really serious. You still have to specify, or it has to be clear either by specifying after you say it, or um, the context is so very clear, right? So like if I'm challenging it like someone to a debate, I'm like, oh, I'll debate you, and they're like, oh yeah, let's do it, let's do it, and then I say, all right, let's throw down the gauntlet. Then the context is very clear, right? Then you don't have to specify what you mean by that, but Generally speaking, you have to specify after. So it's kind of a weird idiom in that sense. Okay, doesn't look like we have any other responses. So let's move on to the article of the day. Um, all right. Here, the quote or the article is, how much say do you have in what you learn at school? I guess essay argues that when school students are more involved in setting their own academic goals, they're more excited to learn. Is that true for you, Shaya?
Can I go use the bathroom?
Of course, yeah. Okay. Can I get Derek? Derek, can you read this first slide?
The slide, right?
Yep.
Okay. How much say do you have in what and how you learn at school? For example, do you ever get to choose the books you read, the classes you take, the topics you study, or the kinds of projects you do? When you do have the opportunity for some control and choice over what you learn, what effect does that have on your interest and investment in it? In the guest essay, giving kids some autonomy, is that how you pronounce it?
Autonomy.
Autonomy has surprising results. Jenny Anderson and Rebecca Winthrop, who wrote a book called The Disengaged Teen, Helping Kids Learn Better, Feel Better, and Live Better, present an argument for students being more involved in setting their own academic goals. The essay begins. In a polarized nation, one point of agreement deserves more attention. Young adults say they feel more woef woefully unprepared for life in the workforce, and employers say they're right.
Awesome. Um, so yeah, let's continue. Not much juice in there yet. Russell, can you read this slide?
In a survey by Gallup and the Walton Family Foundation of more than 4,000 members of Gen Z, 49% of respondents said they did not feel prepared for the future. Employers complained that young hires lack initiative, communication skills, problem-solving abilities, and resilience. There's a reason the system isn't serving people well, and it goes beyond the usual culprits of social media and COVID. Many recent graduates aren't able to set targets, take initiative, figure things out, and deal with setbacks, because in school and at home they were too rarely afforded any agency. Giving kids agency doesn't mean letting them do whatever they want. It doesn't mean lowering expectations, turning education into entertainment, or allowing children to choose their own adventure. It means requiring them to identify and pursue some of their own goals, helping them build strategies to reach those goals, assessing their progress, and guiding them to course correct when they fall short.
Awesome. Awesome. So, it's kind of interesting, this whole idea of giving students agency. I would have to see an implementation of it to really feel like to truly understand how it can be used. But yeah, it's like I guess let students decide what they want to focus their learning on, and things like that. Which
But
I
then like
yeah.
but then like the sporty kids are gonna like focus their learning on like soccer and baseball.
Yeah, that's kind of a worry, right? Um, and I guess also like, but then you also hear stuff like, um, people are always complaining that, oh, school never taught me how to pay my taxes and how
Well,
to,
they should stop teaching kids how to do cursive and learn recorder and actually teach them some good stuff. They
well,
only teach learning recorder and like playing like hot cross buns.
yeah, yeah. Well, so okay, here's my argument for those things, right? Okay, cursive, I don't agree with.
Yeah, they're like every single day you do your cursive, and if you don't do it, you lose like 10 points. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. I think you should learn it, but that's like it shouldn't be forced. Like once you've learned it, it's fine. Just let it go.
And then like I'm learning how to play like recorder, and I'm learning like hot cross buns, and it's really annoying.
So okay, so my argument for the simple recorder being taught in schools, the reason they choose recorder is because it's the cheapest, right? And school boards can't afford to buy everyone new instruments, and it's also expensive and hard to get students to like clean other instruments, right? But it's important to do that because you do want, as a community, we want our students to be well-rounded people, individuals, and music also has shown there's evidence that it helps people learn and develops their brain, things like that. Um, so I do, I do support. When I was a student, I did not support the recorders, but as you grow, I do support it because a lot of students are also just never going to have access to music classes or play an instrument, right? Because it's expensive. So because of that reason, I'm okay with it. But
But then like in music class, you also can like play drums and xylophones.
oh, okay, that's awesome.
So you don't have to learn recorder.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Then they have then yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. They should have other instruments. Yeah, okay, yeah. If they have the funding, they should definitely have other instruments available.
But
I
like nobody likes recorder in my school.
Yeah. Well, again, it's not about learning the recorder. It's more about learning to play any instrument and having those music classes. Um, but it's not, yeah, the recorder was just chosen across pretty much like all of North America because it's the cheapest instrument. That's the only reason it was chosen. Um, okay, so two more slides. I'm gonna read it. Jia, can you read this one?
This approach works because it teaches kids strategies they'll need to success in work and life, and keeps them invested too. But a survey of over 66,000 young people that we conducted with the Brookings Institution and the education nonprofit Transcend showed that very few middle and high school students regularly have the opportunity to work this way. Only 33% of 10th graders report that they get to develop their own ideas in school. The result? In third grade, 74% of students say they love school, but in 10th grade, it's 26%. School feels like prison, many teachers told us over 3 years of research. The more time they spend in school, the less they feel like the author of their own lives. So why even try? John Marshall Reeve, a professor at Australian Catholic University, has spent 2 decades studying what happens when kids are given some agency at school. In 35 randomized controlled trials in 18 countries, he and other researchers found that when students are allowed some opportunity to take their own initiative, they are more engaged in class and better able to master new skills. They have better grades and fewer problems with peers, and they are happier too. The effect sizes were often between 0.7 and 0.9, a significant degree of impact.
Awesome. It doesn't really explain what they mean by when students are allowed to take opportunity to take their own initiative. What does that mean? What specifically did they do? It doesn't
I
say.
feel like you should let kids, like, you shouldn't let them take all the classes, just like maybe one or two, so they don't get like too carried away with what they want to do.
Yeah. I mean, most high schools like you have electives and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Like you can take
maybe,
like AP classes or you can take normal classes.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
But I feel like it's more than that. I feel like they're not just talking about course selection.
Oh, then also you can do like clubs like tennis, like varsity tennis, or you can do like woodworking.
Yeah. Okay. Russell, can you read this one?
Importantly, the teachers did not need to change the curriculum they taught or alter their disciplinary approach. They just applied a few new teaching practices in the course of their normal lesson. At the start of the lesson, instead of providing a step-by-step schedule and overview for the class period, as many good teachers do, they inquired about the kids' own interest. They might say, "Today I'm going to tell you about the solar system. Before we start, is there anything about the solar system that you are particularly curious about or have a question about?" This simple step encourages kids to think about what they know, what they care about, and what they want to know more about, rather than just settling in and tuning out.
Awesome. Is okay. So I guess sort of hmm, start indicate that you have to teach them something and then ask them how they want to learn about it, what they want to focus on, things like that. Okay. That's interesting. That's kind of fair. All right. Well, we have some questions. So, all right, let's answer this one. Um, in your own words, what do the authors mean when they say the students should have a degree of agency in their learning? What is agency? Can you give an example or two of how it applies at school? What about outside of school? So, in your interpretation, what is agency for you in school? Do you have agency, I guess, and give an example? Um, or what do you wish you had more? Okay, so I'm gonna give a few extra minutes. Let's do 7 minutes, starting now. All right, all right. Time's up. Let's see what we came up with. All right, Jalia, can you read your response?
When the author said that students should have a degree of agency in their learning, they're basically saying that kids should have to make some choices in their learning. Doing so allows the kids to take part of something that they find interesting and exciting, rather than tuning out of a boring lecture every day. It also helps the kid become more independent in life because they have to make their own choices on what they want to do, rather than what's on their schedule. Also, it allows them to take part in different clubs and after-school activities with other people that also share the same passion as them.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Only issue here is just this rather than should be just offset with a comma. Um, okay, awesome. So autonomy just means all those things. Um, great. Okay, let's get Russell. All right, Russell, would you like to read your response?
The author is indicating that students should be given the opportunity to take control of their own journeys, academic or professional. This can help the student develop a healthy habit of taking initiative when they, oh yeah, I'm in third position. I'm on third point of view. When they are faced with a problem doing, rather than doing exactly what the teachers want them to do. Exactly the way they tell them to do. I would say that agency, quotation marks, in terms of in school refers to the power of authority you are given over your personal learning. An example of this is the particular subjects you want to take this semester or recommendations on how you as an individual want to be taught. As in outside of school, you might get to choose your own sport or hobby, set up a schedule if you have multiple ones, or maybe just setting up your bedroom. In conclusion, I agree with the author and I believe that the modern schools should grant their students more control over their academic or professional pursuits.
Awesome. This is an amazing conclusion. I love the structure. Um,
Oh, can you change all the yous to thems? Because I started with them and then I changed to you and then I changed back to them. So,
oh, okay. I'm just gonna ignore that this time because it's just too much work to change all of them. But uh great job that you caught that though. I love the structure. Great intro, um, explanation, ex explanation, examples, and then a strong conclusion. This is a almost a perfect. I'm not almost. I think this is arguably a perfect structure. Um, it's gonna help students say power of the authority you're given over your personal. An example to this. Great. That's awesome. That is awesome. Good stuff, Russell. Okay. So let's take a look at another question here. I don't know why I didn't have the other questions set up here. Um, okay. I think this next one is sort of, I feel like it's the most important question I can think of here. Um, if you were a teacher, how would you make your classes engaging? What approaches would you borrow from your own educators, past and present? Um, what new ideas do you have that could make learning more fun for students? And also, if you agreed with giving students more agency. Please incorporate that into your answer. This one I'm going to give you a bit longer amount of time, a bit longer to answer. So let's do 9 minutes for this one. Because there's a lot that you could say, right? There's a few questions and they're all very substantive. Okay, starting the timer now.
The chat because right now, if I open the chat box, I can't see the question.
Okay, gotcha.
I have a question. Can we make a list?
Yeah.
Oh, actually?
Well,
Okay.
like, as in list, no, I don't want just like point form. I would do this and I would do that. I want it incorporate your list into your paragraph.
Okay, then I guess no.
How about this? Write a paragraph and then afterwards you can list off a bunch of things.
Like what grade level? Like are we teaching kindergartners or are we teaching 12th graders?
Oh, yeah, that changes things.
You pick.
Oh, think I went over the word limit.
You can send it in two parts.
Okay.
All right, all right, all right. Time is up.
I didn't even finish mine. I'm still working on it. I haven't even got to my third one.
Jeez Louises. Well, okay. You can continue working on it while we review Russell's. Okay, Russell, would you like to read your response?
If I taught third graders, I would make my classes more engaging for them by encouraging them to share their opinions with presentations. When I was in third grade, that was when school became all about the tests and grades. My teachers and others alike gave us the same project to everyone, so the grades were fair. But if I was a teacher, I would offer them an optional template and let them find their own topic of research. Then the oh yeah, in my paragraph I used people, but it should be replaced with students. Anyways, then the students with similar ideas for the project would be grouped together so they can also learn to take initiative not only as an individual but as a whole team. They would be given plenty of time to perfect their presentations. Then they would share their diverse projects and we would all learn about the topics they chose. Not only would everyone be able to dive into a topic they were curious about, they would learn how to research independently, work together as a team, and they would develop a great work ethic. Now they don't have to listen to hour-long lectures on topics they were never interested in, but they would learn all these life skills and still learning about these topics and they would still learn about these topics from others' presentations.
Awesome. Um, awesome. Okay, so one thing here, you don't need a comma there. Not only as an individual, but as a whole team. I know when you read that sentence out loud, it feels like you need a comma there, but you do not. Um, okay, so if I was a teacher, I was a teacher, I would offer them play them research. No, they would no, but they would also learn how to research independently, work together, and now they don't have to listen to now they don't, but they would. So instead of now, because this is still hypothetical, I would say, something like this way. Um, they don't have to listen to hour-long lectures on topics they were never interested in, but they would have to learn these life skills and still learn,
Learn. They
oh,
would still learn.
and still learn about these topics from others' presentation. Awesome. Cool. Very good stuff, Russell. I do like this idea. So, you have a lot more group projects on specific topics. I feel like I don't know how it would work at young ages, but in university, there were a lot of courses this was fundamental, right? You have a lecture.
But in
Yeah,
the in university at that point, only when you're young can you develop a good habit that you can keep.
you're right.
I don't care if the presentations are crap.
Mm,
But they would learn these lessons and develop a good work ethic.
you're right.
Even if they're in university and their presentations are amazing. Well, what if in third grade they was just listening to lectures, doing what the teachers tell them to do, and in university they'll be like, Wait a minute, the teachers are not telling me what to do. Now I have to make presentations. How do we make presentations? ChatGPT.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. You're right. Yeah, so this approach should be more focused on younger people. I agree. Oh, another thing is when I was in third grade, that was when school became all about tests. This is a little bit awkward. It could be restructured as school became all about testing grades um, when I was in third grade, or in the third grade, school becomes more all about tests and whatever. So either you're saying it is your experience, or you're generalizing and saying around third grade, right? But either way, this version of the sentence is awkward. Okay. So we have a couple more. Oh wait, Javius. Great job, Russell. Ba-da-ba-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. All right, Jayo, would you like to read your response?
I didn't finish mine, so can I just like explain like what my third one was? Is it
Yep.
okay? Okay. If I was a teacher, the main goal for me is to learn and have fun at the same time. This helps keep the students engaged in the topic and know when it's okay to laugh and have fun. I would do this by putting engaging posters and decorations on the wall. Things like "You're amazing" or "Keep up the good work" really help motivate the student to learn. Oh, sorry, to learn. Sorry, not learning. To learn and stay focused on what they're doing. I'd also follow up approach which I use. Oh wait. Oh yeah, which that I use, which is to give out fun stationery. Things like glittery pencils, colorful erasers, and tinted highlighters really help the kid do their work because they have things that really help them stay motivated. I forgot some punctuation, I think.
Would also follow the approach that I use, which is to give out fun stationery.
My second grade teacher did that, and then after third grade, like test, test, test.
Test, yeah. I remember my third grade was like, if you don't get a good score on this, then yeah, you know what's gonna happen.
Okay, yeah. This
I think
this
I feel like I don't know, because I feel like if I teach fourth graders, I don't know. I feel like this is aimed to like more like I think more like kindergartners or something. First graders, maybe kindergartners.
um I think I had incentives like this when I was in the fifth grade as
Because
well.
this plan is aimed to like more like first grade, second grade, and kindergarten.
If my fifth grade teacher did this to us, then we would just be like cringe, cringe, cringe.
What?
Yeah, at least the first grade
You're
and kindergarten
amazing.
don't know what cringe
Keep up the good work.
is.
Yeah, that would be like cringe.
Yeah, but like at least kindergartners, they don't know how to read.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So they
I
probably don't even know what amazing means, but it's okay.
I think that this is I think that this should work for even fifth graders, but it sucks
Really?
that kids.
Glittery pencils? I don't use glittery pencils, but I use like things that like
Maybe like first to fourth grade.
I don't like I like stationery, not glittery pencils, but really nice, pens and
yeah, I don't use like glittery pencils. I'm just making like things that maybe kindergartners would like. To be
When
oh,
I was
honest,
okay.
in fourth grade, we were all crazy about pens, trading erasable pens, like really fancy
Ooh,
oh,
pens, and like
in
the fuzzy
fourth grade,
pens.
we were like all obsessed with mechanical pencils. Like we would trade mechanical pencils, and in third
Oh
grade,
my
we were
God.
extremely obsessed with short pencils. And then
what?
Oh
when like our
yeah,
teacher
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"You
What's
can't
a
Like
have
the
short
short
pencils
pen?
double-sided
anymore."
pencil.
Yeah, like, and then when the teacher was like, "You can't have short pencils anymore," we started hiding them in our pencil, like in our pencil sharpener.
What? Short
Yeah,
pencil?
we loved pencil. We were like sharpen the pencils to like the little tip, and then the teacher was like, "We can't have short pencils anymore. Please throw them away." And then we just hide them in our pencil case.
What?
The
You guys
double-sided ones are the
Yeah,
best.
you
like
you
people we
guys liked
love
this?
these. Wait,
Yes,
like
the
the
double-sided ones. We would trade like anything for those things back then.
What? Why?
what
Why did anybody like
we
this?
would trade like we would trade like that for like no we would trade like candy for like Talkies at lunch.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
because everyone in my school is literally obsessed with Talkies. Like this girl named in my class,
wait,
like
Talkies?
Talkies. Like everybody loves Talkies.
Like the
So like this
chips?
girl in my class, she has Talkies every single day, and then everybody comes up to her like, "Can you please trade? I want some Talkies. I'll trade anything. I'll trade like my entire king size Kit Kat for that." I'm like,
Just for
"Oh,
some of
okay."
these chips?
Yeah, it's like the Fuego ones, the normal ones.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they're like, I'll trade anything for it. I'll trade like my entire king size like Kit Kat collection just for like one bag. I'm like, oh my god, that's not.
wow. Wow. That's impressive.
And then it makes like deals like you have to give me one tomorrow or else. And she's like, yeah, sure.
All right. And
Back in the day.
back in the day.
It's
And you
not
guys
back in the day. It's right now.
have
Well, for me, it was like when I was in like fourth grade. No, in third grade was the mechanical pencils. In fourth grade was the fuzzy pens and like erasable pens. Yes.
In fourth grade, no, in kindergarten, it was a cotton ball jar. So when we had like a jar full of cotton balls, and then if we got it, and then like our teacher would be like, if we did something good, if we had like a really good day, she put like one or two cotton balls in the jar, and if we got it to the top, we got to watch a movie. But then it started going downhill when some kids put in cotton balls when the teacher wasn't looking.
um okay, so what I will say is um just verbally answer this question, all right? How much say do you have in what you learned, sorry, in what and how you learn at school? Do you feel that you have the right amount of agency and autonomy, or do you sometimes wish you had more? So just say it out loud. Like raise your hand. Okay, Xiaoya, go first.
I feel like in elementary school they like don't give people enough agency because they're like, today we're gonna be doing math and then we're gonna be doing language arts. You don't get a choice. You're doing it now or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But then like when we're in advanced academics, we get to choose like if we're gonna do math or reading because like our teacher is like really nice and then he's like, you guys can choose like algebra for your advanced academic class or you can choose like novel study for advanced academic class. And then like there's like three blocks and you get to choose which one you want for like the entire year. You get to choose three of them. And then like
Oh wow.
and then it's just that for the entire year.
That's
Like for
pretty cool.
example, the first one is like Mars unit and like historical fiction writing. The second one is like open-ended slash algebra things, and then it's like the other one's like novel study. The third one's like robotics, and then the other one's like speech and debate. Like
Oh wow. That's pretty cool. Um, Derek Russell, anybody?
I would say our school gives us a lot of authority on extracurricular activities, but about academics, yeah, we don't really get to choose what we do. But sometimes there are projects where you're like, do you want to like about the government? Make a site explaining you can choose legislative, I guess, executive, or the um but like in extracurricular, like I feel like our school gives a lot more options. Um, for example, can't think of one right now, but like yeah, that's basically it.
All right, fair enough. Um,
that. My
okay.
school, we have like a schedule for the day, but then like since I'm in like advanced academics for like gifted and talented, I get to leave at 10. And I get to skip math, which is really nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, you mean AIG? Academically and intellectually gifted, I think. Yeah.
Oh, we just call it advanced academics. It used to be Vision
Oh,
21, and then they changed it to like gifted and talented, and then they
oh,
changed it to advanced academics.
okay.
That's cool. And mine was
And
just
that's like
called
the only freedom we have because like we always have a schedule for the day and teachers always choose. And then like it's kind of boring because we don't really get to choose for ourselves. But at least we get to choose our partners when we're doing activities. And our teachers extremely, extremely chill. But not like chill, but like I don't know how to explain it. He's chill.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, that is all for today, guys. Here's the question of the day. I will see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.